Just something to consider if you wanted to set up a small aquascape and you maybe didn't have the budget for a more expensive external canister. I've actually fitted a CO2 diffuser inside the chamber and actually a very small heater inside the chamber too. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video all about hang on the back filtration. In our case, this is the Oase BioStyle, and in my mind it makes a perfect alternative to the regular external canister filter that many folk use for filtering smaller aquascapes. So usually I would use an Oase BioMaster. In fact, I've been using them almost exclusively in my aquariums at home for the last 5 years or so. But I was given a BioStyle to help create some content for the Oase UK YouTube channel, and I was actually really impressed with it, so I thought I would try it out on my new Dutch aquascape, and I have to say I am more than impressed. And I'm not just saying that because I'm sponsored by Oase. It is genuinely a great little filter. Just to talk about hang on the back filters in general to start with, they are more popular in the USA, and I believe that's because a lot of the aquariums that you can purchase in the USA tend to come just as a glass kind of box, and you have more access to fit a hang on the back filter, whereas in Europe and in UK, which is in Europe by the way, despite Brexit, we tend to have more fitted aquariums with hoods, etc. So it's really interesting because the Oase BioStyle filters in the USA do have 3 colours and the option to have a built-in heater, whereas in the UK, I'm not sure about Europe, but definitely in the UK, they just come in the grey colour and there's no option for the inbuilt heater, which is a bit of a shame. I think it's to do with the different voltages and the legislation involving that. So hopefully they'll develop an inbuilt heater for the BioStyle here, but more on that later because I have a solution to that problem. Hang on the back filters, how they work, they hang on the back, or in my case on the side. I'll put it on the side here because I believe that creates an overall improved circulation pattern around the aquarium, and it's also more hidden from view. So my viewing area is here on this seat here, and you don't really notice the filter so much. If it was on the back, I don't have a background fitted at the moment to the aquarium, so this would just be a bit of an eyesore, to be honest. It is quite bulky. It obviously sits outside the aquarium though, so it's not taking up valuable real estate inside the aquascape, so that's a benefit. It does also have a clear plastic inlet tube, so that's helpful in terms of being more subtle, and you can actually maintain it very easily. Super simple to fit and install. Runs relatively quietly. It does run more noisily than an external filter in my opinion, and maybe that's because it is outside and not hidden inside the cabinet, so that's interesting. I have used hang on the backs before, and the flow pattern tends to kind of cascade straight downwards, and in my mind that's not optimum for creating a good all-round circulation in the aquascape. When we're doing high energy aquascapes, we really want to get CO2 distribution and nutrient distribution equally, hopefully all the way around the aquarium. So this cascading pattern doesn't really help that, and you tend to find dead spots at the extreme ends of the aquarium. However, what Oase have done, they've designed it so the water does come down, but then it gets fired across kind of horizontally, and I'll show you that a close-up here, but we are getting great circulation all the way around the aquarium. It's very simple. It has a kind of cartridge system for the actual filtration. There's some mechanical, biological media in there which can be replaced or cleaned very simply. And yeah, like I say, very simple to operate. There's a flow restricting valve here. I've got it set on maximum, but I'm not sure why you'd have it on minimum. Maybe if you're keeping some slow moving fish like betters, etc., you might want to reduce that flow potentially. Really simple to set up. You do need to prime it, fill it up with water first before you switch it on. It does take a little while to prime. Really, really impressed. However, because we are dealing, like I say, with a high energy planted tank or aquascape, we do want to use CO2 injection and ideally have heater in there as well. So what I've actually done, I think this is great and I'm really proud of myself for this. I've actually fitted a CO2 diffuser inside the chamber and actually a very small heater inside the chamber too. And they fit perfectly. The heater is actually, I'll take it out very briefly because we don't want to expose it too long to the dry air. It's Aquarium, fully plastic, very slim, so it fits in there no problem, and fully submersed. I've got that set to 23 degrees Celsius, which is around 73 Fahrenheit, I believe. I think it's only a 25 watt heater, so it's on the low power side. Generally we want 1 watt per litre. This is 75 litres or 20 gallons of water. But because I have a centrally heated home, the ambient temperature is normally about 21 Celsius. We don't actually need much power to get that extra couple of degrees increase in temperature. So that's working really well. The temperature is very consistent at 23 Celsius, so that's really useful. And the most surprising thing for me was the CO2. So I bought a bazooka style CO2 diffuser. I can take it out here. So this is the bazooka style diffuser. These are really well known for producing a really fine CO2 mist. Probably one of the best, finest mists you can get from an internal aquarium diffuser. But coincidentally, the length fits the chamber perfectly. So the water, as it flows through the filter and out of the outlet there, it picks up that CO2 mist and it fires it perfectly around the aquarium. I'll fit that properly later. And you can see that because you can just see the mist. You can see it actually very evenly distributed around the whole water column. And we're getting 30 parts per million CO2 according to the drop checker there, running about between 1 and 2 bubbles a second on the bubble counter, which is very efficient. I'm running an inline diffuser on a Biomaster filter on my other scaper line with exactly the same bubble rate, and we're getting the same CO2 dissolution, the same CO2 content according to the drop checker. So in my mind, this is literally just as efficient as an inline CO2 diffuser, which is arguably one of the most efficient ways you can add CO2 to your aquarium. So just those two simple hacks, if you like, just by slotting in the heater and the CO2 diffuser into our BioStyle, we have effectively created a 3-in-1 hang on the back filter. So not only is it filtering the water, circulating the water, but we're also heating the water and getting CO2 into the aquarium with no additional kit inside the tank, which is what we want to see. We don't want to see any unnecessary equipment inside the aquascape because it just distracts us from that beautiful view. So it's a great little filter, and I just wanted to share this, and I'm excited to see it running in the long term. This is my Dutch aquascape. Do click the link in the description for the playlist. There's a whole playlist dedicated to this. We'll be doing the 3rd part of the series probably next week. You might be able to see, those that have seen the videos already, that the growth has been pretty remarkable. It's only been set up a week now, and there's significant growth already, and I'm really pleased to see that. No algae yet. I have already added some cherry shrimp and a couple of juvenile platies in there, and I'm really happy to see it developing so well, and I believe the filter here is part of that success. What I will say is, because we do have the heater cable, the electrical cable here, and the CO2 hose, of course, we would arguably have to cut a slot either in the lid here or in the actual filter itself in order to have the hose and the cable so we can actually fit the lid flush. However, I'm mindful that I don't want to invalidate the warranty, and actually just by having it, resting on the cable and the hose, it doesn't look too ugly. Like I say, I don't actually see it very much, even if I'm sitting right here. So I'm just happy to leave that kind of open at the moment, but maybe in the future I will actually cut a slot out. Please bear in mind, if you do cut a slot out in your filters at home, you will invalidate the warranty, so I don't recommend doing that, especially for the first couple of years or so. That's it really, just a quick one guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do hit the thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Do you use a hang on the back filter? What brand do you use? Really rare to see the hang on the backs here in the UK and Europe. Although the Superfish brands, they do come with the kits with a hang on the back, but it's not as well designed as this, probably cheaper to be fair. But these are a really good price point. I will put the price down on the screen below. They are available in different sizes, obviously for different size aquariums. A really great alternative, cheaper alternative, and even arguably more effective maybe than some external canister filters. So just something to consider if you wanted to set up a small aquascape and you maybe didn't have the budget for a more expensive external canister. Okay, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheerio.